Good day, students. Welcome to mathgotserved.com. In this clip, we're going to be going over section 5.2 on our series on long division. We're going to be looking at how to divide 3 and 4-digit numbers by 1-digit numbers. The types of problems we're going to be covering in this presentation is given here. 396 divided by 3. We can see that the long division algorithm is used for it. Don't forget that we have a wide variety of courses accessible at mathgotserved.com or just in the links in the description below. Alrighty, to get us started, let's go ahead and revisit the formula that relates the dividend, divisor, quotient, and the remainder. Okay, the formula for dividing two numbers. So basically, if you have a dividend, a dividend is what you're dividing, okay? Divided by what you're dividing by is called the divisor. So dividend divided by the divisor is equal to the quotient plus the remainder. Okay, we went over this in presentation 5.1, so we're just reviewing that again. And then a way to check your answer to make sure it's correct, still using the same formula, but going backwards. How you check your work is you take the quotient that you got, multiplied by the divisor, and add on the remainder. Okay? If you carry out these operations and you end up with a value that's equal to the dividend in the original question, then you know that your answer is in fact correct. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and write down the instructions for the examples that we're doing here to find the quotient of the given numbers with or without remainders and then you have to check your work, okay? With or without remainders, then check your work. You gotta make sure that your answer is correct. All right, so the first question, what if we're to find 369 divided by 3? Okay, so this is a slightly more advanced problem than what we did in 5.1, where we divided two-digit numbers by one-digit numbers. So we're going to be going a little bit faster here, since the assumption is that you have mastered the foundation of dividing two-digit numbers by one digit. Okay, if you don't know how to do that, please go back to the first video presentation 5.1 and review that, and then you can come back to this video. Okay, so to get us started, we're going to go ahead and write down the first 10 multiples of 3, the first 10 numbers that 3 can go into evenly. All right, that will be our guide in the division process. So they are 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 is 12, 3 times 5 is 15, 3 times 6 is 18, 3 times 7 is 21, 3 times 8 is 24, 3 times 9 is 27, and 3 times 10 is 30. So we see the importance of knowing our multiplication facts. It helps us a lot with long division. Okay. All right. So what are we dividing? We are dividing 369 by 3. So remember, the dividend goes underneath the division bars. All right, so 369 goes underneath the division bar, and the divisor goes outside. We talked about this in the other presentation, that the dividend is on the top of the fraction and the top dog goes in the doghouse, right? Okay, so now since our divisor is a one-digit number, we're going to be dividing the digits of the dividend one digit at a time. Okay, so if that one digit happens to be smaller than the divisor, then we'll consider the digit to the right and look at them together. The steps that we're going to be using for our division are as follows. Alright, so let's outline the steps. So the first thing you're going to do, so the steps for long division, it's another review. Step 1, you divide. Alright, divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, and then repeat. Okay, so the same procedure that we used in the previous presentation for dividing two digits by one digit, we're just going to repeat the same process again, one additional time for three digits by one digit, and then two additional times for four digits divided by one digit. All right, okay, so let's go ahead and apply these steps right now. So first things first, we're going to divide. Remember, we're doing one digit at a time because our divisor is a one-digit number. All right, so we take a look at this and the first digit of our dividend, and ask yourself, how many times does 3 go into 3, or what is 3 divided by 3? Right? 3 goes into 3 exactly once. Another way to check is, what is 3 times what is equal to 3? 3 times 1 is 3. All right? You can see that that's the first digit of our multiples of 3. So we have the division step. You divide first, then multiply that digit of the quotient. You're going to multiply that by the divisor, so 1 times 3, and position it underneath the digit of the dividend that you divided by. Okay, so 1 times 3 is 3. Okay, so we divided. 3 divided by 3 is 1. We multiply. 1 times 3 is 3. The next step is you subtract. 3 minus 3 is 0. You bring down the next digit to the right, which is 6. And what do? We repeat the same steps again, which is divide. So what is 6 divided by 3? How many times does 3 go into 6? Or 3 times what is equal to 6? 6 divided by 3 is 2. Or you can look at a multiplication chart. As a second multiple, 3 times 2 is 6. Okay, so we divided. 2 times 3 is 6. You divide, multiply. Okay, subtract. 6 minus 6 is 0. And then what's next? You bring down. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. And then we're going to repeat the same process again. We're going to keep doing this until we're done. All right, you're done when you have a number that's the last digit and it's smaller than your divisor if there is a remainder. Okay, all right, so does 3 go into 9? What is 9 divided by 3? 9 divided by 3 is 3, or 3 goes into 9 3 times. Okay, so there's 3. 3 times 3, multiply, is 9. Subtract 0. All right, notice this is the last digit in the ones place, and it is smaller than 3. 3 cannot go into 0, so we are done. All right, so what are the significance of the different parts of the answer that we have here? This number 1 2 3 is the quotient. And then this number that we have right here is the remainder. Now let's go ahead and write down our answer for question number 1. 369 divided by 3 is 123 remainder 0. But when you have 0 as a remainder, you don't have to write it. Just write down the quotient component. 123 is the answer to this question. Now, is our answer correct? Well, we need to check. That's what the check is for. We're going to check by multiplying. Remember, the inverse of division is multiplication. We're going to multiply the quotient that we got, 123, by the divisor. If we get the dividend and add the remainder, of course, and if we have the dividend as a result, then our answer is correct. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. Our remainder is 0. Okay. We don't have to do it, but let me just show you. You just add the remainder. Does this number match our dividend? Absolutely. Check, check. Our answer is correct. Okay, moving right along. Question number 2. What if we were to divide 1,256 by 4? We're going to start off by writing down the first 10 multiples of 4 just as a guide to help us with our division process. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 9 is 36. 4 times 10 is 40. Okay, let's go ahead and divide this out. Bam, bam. So our what goes where? The first number, or the dividend, is on the top, right? That's the top dog, so it goes in the doghouse. 1,256 goes underneath the division bar, and our divisor goes outside. Okay, our divisor is 1 digit, so we're going to do it 1 digit at a time. So we're going to start off with 4 and 1. Using the steps outlined here on the upper right: divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, repeat. How many times does 4 go into 1? What is 4? How many times does 4 go into 1, or what is 1 divided by 4? We have a situation here where the dividend digit is smaller than the divisor. So what do we do in that case? We are now going to have to consider the two digits of the dividend. Okay, if the divisor is bigger than that digit of your dividend, then you're going to consider the next digit together with the digit to its left. Okay, so 4 how many times does 4 go into 12? Or what is 12 divided by 4? Okay, 12 divided by 4 is 3, right? Because 3 times 4 is 12. You can look at it right here as the third multiple of 4. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. So that's our divide. And then we're going to multiply now. 3 times 4 is 12. Divide, multiply. What next? Subtract. 12 minus 12 is 0. Bring down. Bam. 5. And then repeat. How many times does 4 go into 5? 5 is not a multiple of 4. It doesn't go in evenly. So how many times can you take out 4 from 5? Well, if you take a look at the multiples of 4, you're looking at the biggest multiple of 4 that's smaller than 5. The biggest multiple of 4 that's smaller than 5 is 1. It's 4, sorry. Okay? So 4 divided by 4 is 1. So the maximum number of times you can take out 4 from 5 is just once. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, that division is repeated subtraction of multiples of the divisor. That's what we're doing, repeated subtraction. Alright, so when we multiply, what is 1 times 4? Because we just divided. 4 didn't go in evenly into 5, so we knew that it's once because 4 is the biggest multiple of 4 that's less than 5. 1 times 4 is 4. And then we subtract. We're guaranteed to get a number that's smaller than 4. Okay? 5 minus 4 is 1. Bam. Divide, multiply, subtract. What do we do next? Bring down. Bam. Bring down the 6. And repeat. What is 16 divided by 4? Well, 4 goes into 16 evenly. Why do we say that? Well, because 16 shows up in the multiples of 4. Nice. So 16 divided by 4 is 4, because 4 times 4 is 16. Okay? So put the 4 right here. 4 times 4 is 16. So that divides and then multiply. 4 times 4 is 16. Subtract 0. Okay, this number is smaller than the divisor, and it's the last digit, so we're done, basically. 1,256 divided by 4 is 314. This 314 right here is your quotient, and 0 is your remainder. Let's write down the answers, ladies and gentlemen. 1,256 divided by 4 is 314. Remainder 0. But remember, if the remainder is 0, you don't have to write it. Just write down the quotient component, which is 314. Okay? Let's check our work to see if it's correct. So we're going to check our work by multiplying the quotient with the divisor, which is 4, and then we'll add the remainder. Okay, so quotient times divisor. 4 times 4 is 16. 6, carry 1. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 3 times 5 is 12. Okay, and then add on the remainder. There wasn't any remainder, so it's just 0. And you have 1,256. Does this match our dividend? Absolutely. Check, check. Our answer is correct. Okay, so we're going to go over one more example, and then we'll give you some problems to try out. So for question number 3, what if you were to divide 7,235 by 7? To get us started, let's go ahead and list our multiples of 7. So 7 times 1, 7. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 3 is 21. 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 5 is 35. 7 times 6 is 42. 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 8 is 56. 7 times 9 is 63. 7 times 10 is 70. Okay, if you haven't mastered your 7 times table yet, we just add in 7 repeatedly. Okay, so just as division is repeated subtraction, multiplication, as you already know, is repeated addition. So let's divide. Put our long division bar up. We know that the dividend, which is the top dog, in the fraction representation goes in the doghouse, 7235, and our divisor goes out here. Okay, so we have the steps here: divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, repeat. One digit at a time, since our divisor is one digit, 7, 7. What is 7 divided by 7? What is the 7 of the dividend divided by 7 in the divisor? Exactly 1. Okay? Because 7 times 1 is 7. 7 is the first multiple of 7 in its multiplication chart. Multiply. 1 times 7 is 7. Divide, multiply, subtract. 7 minus 7 is 0. And then what do? You bring down 2 and repeat. 7. What is 2 divided by 7? How many times can you take 7 out of 2? 2 is smaller than 7, so 2 is not big enough for 7 to be taken out of it. Okay? So we have a situation where our dividend digit is smaller than the divisor. We had the same problem. I think we had the same problem somewhere here. Yeah, we had the same problem in number 2 where 4 could not go into 1. So what do we do in this case? We'll bring down the next digits to make it bigger. So bring down 3. So now we have a 2-digit number. It's definitely bigger than 7 since 7 is 1 digit, right? How many times is 7 going to 23, or what is 7 divided by 23? How many times can you take 7 from 23? It doesn't go in evenly, but we're just going to look at a multiplication table for the biggest multiple of 7 that's smaller than 23. And that is what? Bam, 21. So you could take 7 out of 23 3 times, but you're still going to be left with some numbers. Okay, you're going to be left with 2. So what we're going to do is divide 21, the biggest multiple of 7, by 7, and then put the answer above the digit, the rightmost digit of the dividend. Since we have 23, we brought down the 3, we're going to put a 0 up here to occupy the slot of the 2. Because 2 didn't work, 2 failed, we have to bring down the 3, so we're going to put a 0 there as a placeholder so that the digit is placed in the right position above the 3. Okay, so 21 divided by 7 is 3. You can take 7 out of 23 3 times. What's left? Well, let's see. 3 times 7 is 21. So we divided, multiplied, and now we're going to subtract. When you subtract, you get 2. So when you take out 3 multiples of 7 from 23, which is 21, you're going to be left with 2. Okay, it doesn't go in evenly. That's why 23 is not here on the list of the multiples of 7. Okay? All right, so now we divided, multiplied, subtracted. What do you do next? You bring down. Bam. Repeat. How many times is 7 going to 25? What is 25 divided by 7? 25 is not on the list here, so it doesn't go in evenly. All right, so look for the biggest multiple of 7 that's less than 25. And it's what? 21 again. All right, what is 21 divided by 7? 21 divided by 7 is 3. Basically telling us you can take out 7 from, you can subtract 7 from 25 a maximum of 3 times. And what you'll be left with will be smaller than 7 for sure. Okay, what is it going to be left? Well, let's check it out. 3 times 7, so you divided 21 by 7, which is 3, and then multiply 3 times 7, which is 21, and you subtract. Divide, multiply, subtract. 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay, so that's what you get left over. Since this is the last digit and it's smaller than the divisor, we are done because you can't take 7 from 4 because it's smaller. All right? Okay, so let's talk about what the significance of what we have here is. This number right here is your quotient. And then this number is your remainder. So what is the answer to our question? 7,235 divided by 7 is 1,033. 1,033 remainder 4. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the answer. Okay, so let's go ahead and check to make sure our answer is correct. So let's check our work. So we have to multiply the quotient 1033 by the divisor digit, which is 7. Okay, and then we're going to add on the remainder when we're done. All right, so let's multiply. 7 times 3 is 21. 1, carry 2. 7 times 3 is 21 plus 2 is 23. 3 carry 2. 7 times 0 is 0 plus 2 is 2. 7 times 1 is 7. And then you add on the remainder. What is it? 4. And what do we get? 5, 3, 2, 7. 7,235. Is that equal to our dividend? Absolutely. So we know that our answer is in fact correct. Okay? So now it's your turn for some practice problems. Alrighty, so here are the 3 practice problems we'd like you to try out in order to demonstrate mastery of the contents of this presentation. Go ahead and pause the video at this time and try out these practice problems. When you're done, click on the playback button and we're going to reveal what the correct answers are and you can check your work. Welcome back. Hopefully you had a chance to try out the problems. Here are the answers to questions 1, 2, and 3. Go ahead and check your answers. Now, how well did you do? Let us know how well you did in the comment section below. If you got them all right, destroy the like button. If you have any questions about any of these questions, specify it in the comment section below and we'll be more than glad to support you. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this presentation. Don't forget to help support our channel by subscribing, liking, and sharing this content with your friends. Tons of support resources can be found at mathgotserved.com or in the links in the description below. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.